Straight Talk with your host Reggie B. Come on, let's all join in. Free your voice, it's your choice, alright here. Oh, simply straight talk.
Hello, and how are you today?
Angelique, come on. We are going to be late.
Hey, you've only been waiting 2 minutes, man. I'm walking out of the door now.
Okay, I see you coming out.
Thank you for joining me. You know, I think this empowerment lecture is much needed for our young women.
No problem. Listen, I honestly believe that you're doing a fantastic job and you're a great mentor.
Oh, why thank you.
But I am still wondering, so what caught your interest that you just left me waiting here in the driveway?
If you must know, I was watching this show about people who live in RVs, vans, and tiny houses.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I really found it very interesting. And that they have a unique view on what it means to live life to the fullest and free from materialistic stress.
Wow, so you're really interested in this minimalist lifestyle thing.
I think I was more interested in the mental aspect of why people choose to live that way. Honestly, you know what? I can see both sides.
Yeah, but what about working? Because you still got to make some money.
Actually, many of them have jobs or their own business. They're not lounging around. In some cases, families actually have started to live this lifestyle.
Oh, I didn't know that. Well, you know what? So let's say I bought an RV or a van.
You mean the Class A? That's the bus.
Class A, are those the ones like the big charter buses?
Exactly, or a double-decker Class A. Yeah, but go on.
Okay, I was thinking like the 18-foot RV. How did you get to a bus?
Oh my God, come on, get to the point. I know you're trying to challenge me somehow.
Okay, let's say we entered a competition to live a minimalist lifestyle for 2 years now. 2 years. Could you do it?
Okay, and what's the prize?
What does the prize have to do with the question? What does that even matter about a prize? We're talking about the lifestyle.
What is the prize?
Okay, let's say the prize is like $2 million.
Easy. We would win the competition and we would split the money so it's fair. So I'd get 98% for having to deal with you, and you'd get 2%.
Oh, you real funny. You real funny now.
Okay, we're here. Let's go. I hate we always run out of time when you ask questions.
We always run out of time whenever I ask you a question.
Welcome to Simply Straight Talk with your host, Reggie Maddox. So don't get scared. You know we all about that real talk on the Simply Straight Talk show.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Simply Straight Talk show. This is your host, Reggie Maddox, and we are kicking off the first season of season 6. And we are enjoying this, man. We're enjoying this. We're into the second episode of season 6. Man, I'm loving it. I'm loving bringing y'all this great content. And I'm definitely appreciating all of the love and support that we get from you guys all around the world, man. That is so nice to see. All of the comments, all of the downloads, man, just from everywhere. I love y'all. Much respect. Today, we're going to be talking about the minimalist lifestyle. We're talking about those people, man, that live in vans, RVs, and some people in their cars. We want to talk about the pros and cons. Now, I wanted to have this discussion because I feel like a lot of people sort of have an idea about the people that live this lifestyle, but they truly don't understand the mindset of why they live this lifestyle. Now, some people will say, you know what? These are people that just don't want to work. They just don't want to have a life. They don't want any responsibility. They're lazy. They don't want to be accountable. I'm going to tell you right now, that is the complete and utter lie. It is absolutely not like that at all. Now, I have been looking into this for about 2 years now, 3 years. I've been looking into this, with different people and male and females, different racial groups to kind of understand this. And one of the things I was really surprised that a lot of people feel like black people don't live the RV life, and they actually do, and they love it. So, but we're going to talk about that today. We're going to talk about the RV life. We're going to talk about people who live the minimalist lifestyle and they do it from their cars. Now, I want to say this, ultimately, this lifestyle is a trade-off of comfort, okay? But you're getting a freedom that I think most people can't understand. We'll put it like this. I think people who live the RV life or the minimalist life from their vehicle, who live basically from their cars or their mobile units, these people have conquered a fear of freedom that most of us still have. We have a fear of this type of freedom, and we don't want to face it. It is just simply something we will not face. So when we talk about the minimalist lifestyle and we're talking about this type of lifestyle, understand there's a pros and cons to both sides of this thing. Now, some people say, if you live the minimalist lifestyle, especially if you're the type of person that's living in an RV or van, then, life is dirt cheap. Well, you know what? It's much cheaper than living in a car. It's much cheaper than living in a house, paying a rent and paying mortgage. But here's the thing. You still need money, okay? Because you got to buy groceries, you got to get gas, there's going to be repair costs. If you're going to go camping in some areas, you might have a small fee. You still got to find a place to sleep, a place to park. So it's not always glamorous, and we're going to get into that. But there are certain habits you might have to let go of. Because think about it, your whole life is going to change 180 degrees. Because if you like taking a shower twice a day, it may go down to once a day, And sometimes, depending on your water supply, it may be every 2 or 3 days when you're living in a van. And when you do, you might be at a lake or a river. You might have a solar camping shower head. If you like taking bubble baths, man, that's definitely going to be out unless you're going high end. Okay. But you're going to have to make some adjustments if you want to live the minimalist lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? So if you're going to be that RV and van lifestyle, that fear of not having a house, a permanent home, or being away from friends or family, sleeping in dark places, being lonely, on the road, those fears are going to creep in, and you have to be prepared to face them. So, but I want to say that these are not lazy people, man. They really are not lazy people. They are extremely creative. And I'm going to put some links in below for the show notes, man, so you can actually check out some videos of what these people have to do in order to survive, but what they're getting in return for the lifestyle they're living, to be honest with you, it's amazing. Now, let's go over some of the pros. Okay? Now, one of the pros to the RV and van lifestyle is the fact that you have everything with you everywhere you go. It's amazing. You always feel right at home. You got everything you need, okay? Because your home is basically your RV or van or your car. So whatever vehicle you're using, that's your home. So everything you need is right there wherever you go. Second, there's no rent, no electricity bills, no water bills. The rent thing is the main one I think that a lot of people like. Because as you all know, rent these days is extremely high. And that's what drives a lot of people to live the van life or the RV life. Because think about it. For the size of an RV, okay, let's say we'll go with a Class C RV, which is what, like 18, I think one said 18 to 32 foot. Okay, for a size of an RV, some people are paying $2,500 a month for that same amount of space. That same amount of space. And that's the thing about it. Rent is getting so high. So people who are living in an RV, yes, once the RV is paid for, or let's say that even if you are making payments to pay for the RV, you're still coming out cheaper than what you're paying to rent some apartments, because everything now, the days of rent being $400 and $500 a month is very slim. It's hard to find that. So most places now, man, you're in the $800 to $1,000 range. If you're up north like Maryland, New York, you're well over $1,000. You know what I'm saying? California, places like that, man, you're going to get hit hard with the rent price. So people who live the RV life have that advantage of not having to pay rent, no electricity bills, no water bills. And besides that, they can travel wherever they want and make it their home. Now, in the RV and van life, you can move literally anytime you want. Anytime you want. If you want to go from Atlanta to Florida, you can. If you want to go change places in the winter, you can. You can do that. So that's another advantage to the RV van life. The other thing is you're always learning new things. You got to learn how to get power. You got to learn how to kind of build and fix things, because consider this now, just like when you live in a house, if you own the house, you are responsible for the repairs, the AC and all that type stuff. Where in the van life or RV life, you still got to know how to make repairs. You still got to get those minor maintenance things done, but it's a lot cheaper than what you're going to be getting done if you're living in a house. But it helps you to learn more. So if you're the type of person that likes to learn and be creative, then definitely the RV or van life, man, you would enjoy that aspect of it. You get to spend more time in nature. So if you're the type of person that really likes being out, if you're the type of person that that enjoys the outdoors, the parks, the nature preserves, then definitely you're going to enjoy the RV and van life, because nature is so beautiful. We live in this world and we tear down a lot of the nature, but being the fact that you get a chance to actually live in an RV or a van, you get a chance to actually experience that nature, which a lot of people who live in houses and apartments don't, because their days is pretty much go home, come to work, go home, come to work. You get a new appreciation for life. I mean, some people feel like in that whole 9-to-5 hustle, they just feel like their whole life is being controlled and dominated by somebody else. You know what I'm saying? If it's not the job dominating and controlling your life, it's the mortgage or the rent and all the utility bills. So everything is controlling your life and making you do something and live a life that you probably don't want to live. And some people, once they get out from underneath that structure, they may find that they feel that life is more peaceful. And I think another pro to the van and RV life is you kind of stop taking things for granted. To be honest, van life, it is some work now. It's going to keep you going. You have to make sure you got to have water. You got to make sure and be conscious how much power you're using. But the thing about it is you become a little more appreciative about the things that you do have. And you do begin to learn the fact that a lot of things you say you need and you say you have to have, you come to find out that you really don't. You really don't need as much stuff as you feel you do. So when it comes to the RV and van life, there are some definite pros to it, because you do get this experience of being free. You do get this experience of being able to explore, see different things. You get the experience of being able to actually just enjoy life more. And you don't have that financial pressure that really comes with living the regular 9-to-5, that going to that same job every day, coming home to the same place every day. So some people need that break. They like that freedom, that I'm not coming back to the same place. I have a change of scenery. I'm seeing different things. But you have to understand, you have to have a van or vehicle or an RV. Now, some people who do the RV is pretty much, it comes pretty much set up for you. Now, you can make adjustments depending on what you're doing. Is it a long-term stay, short-term stay? Are you going to be constantly living out of it? Or are you just doing something for the weekend? Now, the people that I looked at, like Nova Culture is actually ongoing. Like, they live out of their van, so I really like them. Now, this couple shows you all the different aspects of it. They give you all of the harsh realities, and they give you the great things about it. And like I said, I love the creative process of watching them, because these are people that they build their van out as far as the beds, the cooking, the shower, the toilet, everything. Because you even have to come to the fact that you have to make adjustments for how your van is going to feel in the winter and the summer. So it is a great thing. So living the minimalist lifestyle, like I said, I think it is something that a lot of people could enjoy. And I think it is a freedom that comes with that a lot of people are afraid of. They fear that freedom, because that freedom is not in the sign of something stable. It's not in the fact that you're coming home to the same house, you're going to the same job. And I think some people can't think outside of that world. But people who live the van life, the RV life, have come to understand that there is a world outside of apartment renting, house renting, mortgages, 9-to-5 jobs. They understand that. So they really do get that. So with that being said, they have a broader way of thinking about life, and they have a greater survival instinct and appreciation for life. Now, some people say, well, you keep saying that the 9-to-5, so do they not work? Actually, they do work. Many of them have their own business. They have started their own online businesses. Some people work for other corporations, except they work from their van or their RV. So that's the thing about it. So people say like, oh, well, they're not working or they're lazy. No, they actually own their own businesses. They actually have their own LLCs, their corporations business set up. So they are generating revenue, and they're very smart about how they create revenue to bring back to them. Most of them understand how much it takes to operate their vehicle for a month, how much gas they need, how far they're going to be traveling, how much food, how much water. So they understand what it takes in order to maintain. One couple said that it only took them $400 a month is what they needed to make. That's food, gas, travel, and all of that. $400 a month. But, that's how they live their life. They do believe that they don't need all of the essentials. They don't need the fancy and the luxurious lifestyle. They were very comfortable, very happy where they are. But we all have to come to find out, are you willing to face that fear? But stay tuned, because we're coming back with the cons, the things that may make you say, no, it sounds good, but not now. But we're going to talk about that when we come back right here on the Simply Straight Talk Show, because when we're talking about the van life, we're talking about living a life that works for you. Like I said, it may not be for everybody, but there are some great aspects of this life. But when we come back, we're going to talk about the reality of living the minimalist lifestyle from an RV and van. And is it for you or is it not for you? But you know what? I think it sounds good. With the creative mind come creative things. And creative things, you can have a peaceful life.
Don't even think about it. We got more straight talk just for you.
Hello, Simply Straight Talk family. If you are enjoying this episode, at the end of the show, don't forget to subscribe, rate, and leave a review. And why not share this with a friend? Also, visit our blog at newlifenewmind.com, where you can find additional articles on more great topics. Stay tuned. The show will continue right after this message.
You're listening to Simply Straight Talk.
Hey everybody, and we are back after that short break. And don't forget, we are all about supporting our HBCU programs. I'm talking about JSU, Prairie View, Grambling State, Southern University, Alcorn State, Alabama A&M, North Carolina A&T, all right, Bennett College, Elizabeth City College, all right. Let's make sure we support our HBCUs, man. Morehouse, Tuskegee, Fort Valley. Holla at your boy. All right. Make sure we support them, man. We want to make sure that we keep our strong-minded young African-American kids in schools support these historical programs, man, because, these bands, these athletic programs, these academic programs, man, they really are effective and make a big difference. So let's make sure we reach out. Go to the website, rmbrgene.com, where you can find a link in the top right-hand corner and hit HBCU Donate. All the money goes strictly to the donation program for the HBCU scholarships and programs. So let's do that, all right? Now, let's get back to the show, man. We're talking about minimalist lifestyle. I can't get that word right today, okay? We're talking about the RV and the van life, man. These people who live their life full times out of a van or RV or a vehicle, or it could be a regular car, okay? So we gave you the pros about some of the things and the reasons why people enjoy the fact of living the RV or the van life. But now we want to talk about some of the things that you need to consider if you're thinking about living this lifestyle. Now, one thing I have noticed is there is a distinct difference in some of the challenges from couples than it is from a single person. Now, one thing I noticed, two things about couples. One is space. So if you're the type of person that's like, I need my space, and you're living with somebody, it could be tough. The other thing is the bathroom situation. If you're in a van, remember, everything is open. So, when that person goes to do that, you might smell what they do. So open the windows, drive down, let the air flow back. You know what I'm saying? So you're going to smell what they do when they go to the bathroom. You're going to hear it because you're in a lot closer area. And if that bothers you, then it's going to be a problem. Now, with the RV, it's a little bit different, because depending on the type of RV, especially when you get to like a Class C or Class A, closed doors, they are more equipped and distinctly built for that. Whereas vans haven't really mastered that yet. But there are different type toilets. I think one of the most popular is the composite toilets that you have to use. And one of the other things about living the van life is you have to be willing to dump your own version of the septic tank, which is smaller. So if you don't like the smell of your own poo or somebody else's poo or boo-boo, then guess what? You may have to figure something else out for that part of it. But here's the other thing. Sometimes parking can be a bit tough in finding a place to park. A lot of places are cutting back, where places like Walmart used to allow overnight parking for RV vans. A lot of Walmart places are not allowing that. So you kind of have to really plan out where you're going to park and finding places to park. You're going to have to learn to fill your own water. Now, a lot of RVs come with like a water tank that you can fill up. Even some vans come with water tanks, and there's a pump that you can fill up. So you got to kind of be mindful of where you can fill up. And that's really not hard. It's just a matter of making sure that you know when your water is getting low. Okay. Now, if you don't have a shower, now some vans and RVs come with a shower. Some people have built their own shower inside the RV, which is really cool because it's the same thing. It comes from like a water pump system that you can sort of pump. Once you build up enough pressure, the water comes out. But you can't take hour-long showers or 30-minute showers. These are normally quick, let me get clean showers. There's another word we used to call them, but that's pretty much what you're taking. Well, I can say it on this show. You're pretty much taking a whole bath is what you're going to be doing, because you have to monitor your water usage. You got to monitor your power usage. So it sucks, but it's not the end of the world. When your RV breaks down, you're going to have some backup funds, maybe for a hotel, because you got to account for that and you got to pay for that. So that's always a challenge. So you have to be mindful of having that type of backup income. Like, okay, my RV or my van is broken down. It's not a 1-day fix. It's a 2-day fix. So how am I going to get it fixed? What towing service do I have? What places can I trust to work on it that's not going to try to take advantage of me? So you have to be mindful of that stuff. When it's hot outside, now I mentioned this in the first part of the show, it's hot inside. When it's cold outside, it's cold inside. So you're going to have to winterize your van to help it stay warm in the winter. And you're also going to have to work on the fact that it may be hot in the summer. So you may have to spend a little money to get that comfort of being cool. And that's the thing about it, is these are not systems you can just run 24 hours like you do in your house unless you plug up somewhere. And sometimes that's not always a possibility. There are people that don't like you living in a van and they think you're homeless. And that's the thing. People that live in their vans, people that live in their cars, people that live in their RVs, they're not homeless. To them, it's a home. These are working people. They are working people. And they have places where they just don't want to be caught up in the whole system of, paying rent somewhere, paying a mortgage somewhere. They like that freedom. They don't need all of that. They like the simplistic lifestyle. So to them, that's what makes them happy. They love the fact they can drive to a reservation or they can drive to a park and just park and sit outside, enjoy nature. They love the fact that their RV is their home and it's just comfortable. So I don't consider them homeless. I think homeless is a different thing. Okay. So you have to understand that you can get rodents. So you have to be very clean when you're living in an RV. You have to be very clean because people think you don't have to deal with mouse or mice or rodents. Yes, you do. So you have to be very clean. There are things you're going to need to installing, like, a power source where you got specific batteries that they use. Solar panels is an option. They're not necessary for short trips, but if you tend to take a long trip, you'll find them useful, okay, because they build up power. So you're actually using the solar power instead of the actual power from the van itself. You may have to install a propane stove if you're going to have a stove so you want to cook. Now, some people use propane stoves. Some people use the little burner stoves like you use outside for camping. But, and you can consider an electric stove. But like I said, that's always an option. And if you plan on traveling for a few days, a fridge will come in handy. Now, the thing about all of this is I think the biggest con for a lot of people is, which I don't think these are cons, these are more factors that you need to consider, is that if you're going to live the RV lifestyle, if you're going to live the van life, you have to prepare your van or RV for the weather conditions, and you got to prepare it for living. Which means before you just jump in a van and say, this is my home, you really have to consider the fact that you have to make a bed. You have to set up a bathroom. You have to set up how to winterize your van. How are you going to install the water system in your van? How are you going to install the electrical system to help power, say, charge your cell phone, run your laptop? You know what I mean? Things like this. If you got a refrigerator, how are you going to run it to keep your food cold? So these are the things that you need to consider. If you're going to have a TV or tablet, all of these things are going to require power and are going to require you to charge them at certain times, especially when you don't plan on just sitting there running your car and burning gas or your RV for 3 to 4 hours, especially if you're watching a movie. You need to be able to have some power. So part of the RV life is, hey, maybe you don't have a TV. Maybe you're not a TV person. Maybe you get into reading, or maybe you can use your tablet but that uses a lot of bandwidth. So now you're getting into the fact of, will you have Wi-Fi? Because you can actually set up mobile Wi-Fi for your RV and for your van. So here's the thing, even though you do have to consider all of these things, if you properly prepare your vehicle for van life, these expenses will be out of the way before you actually get in. So that's what I would suggest. Just kind of figure out what you need, how much space you need, clothing, shelving, and you'll be surprised, man, that a lot of these people who live the van life now, because RVs come set up, and some RVs, when you buy them, you can design what you want. But keep in mind, the more fancy and intricate and decorative you get with the RV, the bigger the price tag is going to be. With the vans, you can have somebody build it out for you, or I find that a lot of people are actually building out their own vans. They're making their own beds. They're building their own shelving. They're building their own little kitchen areas, their little shower areas, because there are a lot of prefabricated systems out there that all you have to do is put them in place because they're pretty much pre-built for you. So that is the thing about the van life. Those are some of the things you need to consider. Now, going into this, I want you to know that I don't want you to think negative about it. I want you to think positively. Open your mind to what this can be and if this is for you. Now, we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, man, I'm going to sum all this up. For those of you who say, yeah, I think that's a lifestyle I want to live. And for those of you who are saying, no, that's not for me, because you know what? It could be the reverse of both sides. Hey, we'll be right back right after this short break.
We'll be back with your host, Reggie, on Simply Straight Talk.
All right, Simply Straight Talk family. We want to return the love you have shown us back to you. Reggie will be giving away great prizes during certain Simply Straight Talk podcast shows, so make sure you subscribe and listen to the show for your chance to win. Just imagine being able to take 4 people to the movies, a free night in a hotel, a gift card with cash for a restaurant, or one of our Simply Straight Talk podcast shirts. There will be other prizes as well. For more information, visit our website at www.rmviaging.com and click on Simply Straight Talk Podcast in the menu.
Are you ready for the straight truth? Reggie, what's the final word for today?
Hey everybody, we are back for the final thoughts on today's show. Today we're talking about the minimalist lifestyle. I still can't get that word right. Living in an RV or van, which they call the van life, RV life. Listen, I think we need to be more open-minded to other people's choices in life. Everybody doesn't want to pay rent. Everybody don't want to pay mortgage. Some people like the freedom of being able to control their resources in their life. Meaning that they don't need the luxurious lifestyle. They don't need to be paying homeowners insurance. They don't need to be, sitting up in a house where someone else can tell them what they can do with their house, what they can't do, and all that type stuff. The bottom line is, if you want to live the RV and van life, then that is completely your options. I applaud these people because they are very creative. They work very hard to make their situation work and comfortable for them. And they have just learned that there is a freedom that many people are afraid of. Many people are afraid of saying that I don't have a house or an apartment. So these people have just decided that, we're going to embrace life in its entirety in a simplistic way, but in a way that's gratifying. In a way that allows us to live and have control over our life. And like I said, many of these people have jobs. Their businesses are online. They may work for a corporation or a company as I forgot what you call it, like a commuter type person, which basically they do everything online. So if you are a person that is creative, that doesn't mind getting your hands dirty, that has great problem solving skills, that's a planner, then I think you will enjoy this lifestyle. If you like the outdoors, if you like a change where life is not the same routine every day, then you will love this lifestyle. You will love this lifestyle. And this is not a lazy lifestyle. Like I said, a lot of these people, they build their own vans out. Even some of the RV people have built their own RVs out. They take the time to create and build the beds, the kitchens, the shelvings, the closets. They are very creative and resourceful. But like I said, this lifestyle is not for everybody. If you think this is just about driving around and going to sleep, no, it's not. They really do have to take time to consider where they're going to be sleeping at, the food, where they're going to get food, where they're going to get gas, where they're going to get water, power sources, and all that type of stuff. But I think it's a lifestyle that anybody can live as long as you properly plan. Now, is this a $200 lifestyle? No. I mean, unless you just buy a van and you got a piece of land, you just want to park your RV or van there and that's all you do, then possibly, but even then, you still got insurance, you still got gas, you still got maintenance. So me humbly saying that if you're going to live the RV or van lifestyle, I think it's best to start off by finding out what type of van or RV you want. Like I said, there are some great channels on YouTube. Nova Culture is a great site. So By the Wild Side is a great site. So there's a lot more. I'm going to put them down below. But if you want to live this lifestyle, be sure that you understand that you're still going to need a source of income. You're still going to need insurance. Like one thing I didn't know about RVs was I thought you needed a CDL, but you don't. Now for the buses, I think you do, but I think for the RV itself, you don't. But for the C class. But the thing about it is, I double check that. I don't want to send y'all the wrong information. But the thing about it is, this is a lifestyle of people who have learned that life has so much more to offer. They want freedom from being under the whip of other people, other corporations, other jobs. That's why most of them have their own businesses. That's why most of them are creative. They build out their life. They live a free life. Now, somebody said about dating. Now, there's a couple shows about dating, and apparently dating can be an issue for somebody who's an RV lifer or who lives the RV or van life, because if that person doesn't understand or can't see your mindset for living this type of life, they're not going to want to do it, because you're the type of person that most likely likes to travel and be on the go. And if somebody else can't do that, they're not creative, they're not handy at fixing and doing things, then it might be a little bit of a challenge. So if you really feel like dating might be an issue for you in that case, I think for some of them, some guys said, yeah, it is. I know for the guys, it has definitely been an issue. And for some of the women, it has been an issue, and that they prefer a man. The women said that they prefer a man who has an RV, at least their size or bigger, because you still got to consider the bed constraints. If you're a single person in an RV, your bed maybe can fit one person. If you're a woman that's 5'4", 5'7", but you got a guy that's 5'11", 6'2", you got to consider stuff like that. So, but anyway, there are definitely some dating restraints that come into RV lifestyle, which I'm probably going to do a show about that, because I think that'll be very interesting. But hey, thank you for joining us here today. I really hope you enjoyed the show. And remember, check out some of these van life and RV lifestyle people, man. They got a great group of people to follow. So thank you for joining us, and we will see you next week right here on the Simply Straight Talk Show.
That's this week's episode. Thank you for listening and being a part of the Simply Straight Talk podcast. We truly appreciate your support. Be sure to visit us at simplystraighttalk.com to join the conversation, access show notes, and discover our fantastic bonus content on Patreon. Thank you for listening, and don't forget to join us next week for another episode.